What up, guys? It's a new week this week, and it's Monday. It is raining, and we are going to be dynoing the Is300 for our buddy Isaiah, this red one from our last video. Blue car's out of here, bunch of other stuff. This thing is a 2JZ GE NAT setup with the over-the-top manifold. Basically, the cheapest way that you possibly could get a turbo kit into your Is300. I'm not a big fan of doing it this way because I just think it's very hard to work on, and just overall, just a complete mess. The car is on a Haltech. If you want to go ahead and watch the other video, I'll link it in the description about us replacing the engine in that car. He basically had it tuned by somebody else. They didn't know what the hell they were doing, because they don't tune JZs. They raised the red line from 6,500 to about 75 or 78 or something like that. Well, you don't want to rev, boosted GEs like that because the rods are like about, finger thick, and they're just not good for doing really much more than, let's just say 400 horsepower. We have made 450, we have done 500 with cams, but in the case of this guy, the guy is from Tennessee. He just moved here. He's not really looking to be having problems. He wants something nice and conservative and something that's just not going to be a super like headache of just working on all the time, because obviously he just got here and he's just trying to have something reliable. So we're getting it on the dyno with our buddy Danny G, DynoAnd. We're going to be heading over to Apex right now, just waiting for my buddy Caden to get here right now so I can have somebody to follow us to get the E85 and the other stuff along with that. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera right now and kind of show you guys about this so that you guys can see all in all what's done, what is good about it, what's not good about it, and then we can kind of get in the car. We're going to drive over there and we're going to get it done. Let's get it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into this. So we have a China turbo with some weird piping setup that really doesn't fit very well. We got a non-used MAF, but it is nice for the factory people that will be just going like plug and play turbo kit to drive it around, or get it to the dyno shop at least. I don't recommend leaving it like this because it's a blow through MAF, and that's just not accurate after you add boost into it. So we got an unused blow off valve that was kind of pointless to have. The turbo actually doesn't even spin at idle. It's pretty funny. The customer did say that it has I'm getting out of the rain real quick, that it is some upgraded company that builds turbos. Hey man, if it's not going to be main brand, Precision, Turbonetics, Comp Turbo, or something along those lines, or even just like a Borg Warner, I just wouldn't recommend running it. If the turbo doesn't spin at idle, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably not that good of a turbo. So we got the Octopus intake manifold that basically both sides run out this side. It loops all the way down and back around into the intercooler. We're running the CX Racing intercooler core, so it has a 3-inch lower with like a smaller upper. I don't know if we'll be able to get that into frame, maybe. Kind of hard to see, but yeah, it basically squishes up top. Everything's hooked up. Got the fuel pressure regulator. The fuel line's already been ran from the back to the front, so it is a return, not a returnless, but a return fuel system setup. AEM fuel pressure regulator, flex fuel stuff we went ahead and all did, and obviously we replaced the engine. So we're gonna see how this thing does today. I mean, once again, this is kind of my first real standalone kind of like plug and play setup. We have done this before in another Is300, but it was on the Link ECU. I'm not a big fan of that one either. Haltech is a great system. This is on the Elite 2500, so great ECU. So let's just get into it today and see how it goes. We don't have crazy high expectations, but we want to get this guy back on the road. A super cool kid, super humble guy. Just wanting to kind of get him to be part of the Sideways fam and to, just have something properly built that's going to last him. So let's get to the dyno, bro. So it's raining pretty bad, but we're on our way. Looks like we're burning off all the crap that blew up on this thing because we're getting a little bit of smoke in the cabin and stuff. This is the thing that I don't like about Is300s when it comes to other people doing the builds. Like, every freaking thing on the car doesn't work, and there's all kinds of lights on and crap, and the gas gauge freaking light flickers, and just everything else going on with this thing. So I don't know, we're out here almost there, about halfway there to Danny's, so let's just see what happens, I guess. We're a little past it now. You want to see? Like before, it was barely like past it, or like before it. Now it's a little past it. Where you had it before, it was like right behind it.
Let me put it
a half a degree.
Yeah, let me put it back to work.
All right, guys. So we're here at Apexa USA. Car's already on the dyno. We just went ahead and let the timing in, and we're going to be getting ready to start doing some rolls. Just adjusting the idle, getting everything set up. Danny went ahead and made a whole entire new map for this thing because the first two were pretty junk from other people that tuned it. So hopefully it's going to be a beautiful, super awesome, easy day. So let's just see how it goes, and I'm going to keep you guys as informed as I can about horsepower numbers and kind of what the car's going to hit and what you can expect out of a setup like this. So let's get it. All right, guys. So typical dyno day. Something's always wrong with people's cars that end up getting built and then brought to us, and you know, just not in the condition that we do it when we build it from start to finish car. So right now, cylinder 1 was misfiring and not really running right. I had to pull his injectors out on the dyno, and then I'm lucky enough that I have some friends that have injector companies and can clean these for us, but it looks like pretty much cylinder 1 was not firing. So I'm gonna go take the injectors real quick to get cleaned. Hopefully hour, 2 hours, come back, get these back in, and we'll no longer be misfiring. So yeah, not a very good start to the day. So we are on my way to my buddy Rocky's house right now to use his injector cleaner for, you know, the good old ID injectors. We're in the vibing, you know, just vibing in the vibe, you know, Pontiac vibe, just vibing in the vibe. So get her done. All right, guys, so looks like it all ended up working. We ended up actually having a vacuum leak at the injector as well. Seems like it's pretty common for the IS300 guys with not having a proper boss setup. We do sell our own injectors for like these builds, a lot of the stuff like that. Like we have our own setup that we've actually like fitted with the standard, you know, FID, FIC, ID, Bosch style injector. So I mean, as far as top hats and bottom hats, we already have it kind of locked in. But yeah, so new injector seal, got the injectors cleaned, idle's nice and smooth now. We're starting to finally roll. It's about 1 o'clock, 1:30, so the day's definitely lagged. It's gonna be a long day today, but let's get into it, man. Let's get this thing done. Ready? Guys, looks like we're about to do the first pull. Danny's already done with his drivability, so this is going to be the first pull on 91 octane on low boost, whatever wastegate puts out. So we're looking at probably 5 to 7 psi, and see what happens. All right, guys. So this is what a Chinese turbo kit gets you on super low everything. All right, guys, so to the add to the day of fuckery that we've dealt with all the other stuff on this janky car, like I had said in the video before this, Chinese clutches, you guys do not waste your time with buying those eBay specials. Action Clutch, E-Clutch Masters, XTD Clutch, F1 Racing, those are all those super eBay, Amazon clutch kits. It's basically Chinese manufactured, Chinese disc, Chinese everything, and they do not hold up for power. We got to 315 horsepower today and the clutch slipped. You can see in my video me complaining about how I hate those clutches. They explode, they break, they all kinds of stuff. Well, in this case, it didn't explode, but we're up shit creek. So the customer gets to have his car back today. He just really needed a daily. We tuned it conservatively regardless. So we're gonna end the day at 9 PSI at 315 horsepower. And we're gonna go ahead and do the clutch in a few weeks, bring it back on the dyno, which I guess I'll probably wait to post this video. We'll go ahead and do the clutch, get it back on the dyno, finish the E85, and then the video will go up. So let's get it back off the dyno and get it back to the shop. All right, guys, so we're back at the shop. Is300 is back on the lift. We're about to pull the transmission back out to get this janky clutch out. So I will show you once again from this video how crappy this thing is and what it's all gonna look like when we pull it out. We're gonna go ahead and put an ACT Extreme in it so you can actually hold the power down, you know, best you can get for W58. So we'll get it out and I'll show you guys what's up. So we might have actually found the culprit with this thing. I think the front input shaft seal is leaking, which would have ended up leading to possibly the clutch slipping, but I mean, it's already a Chinese clutch anyways. So I don't see a bunch. We're cleaning it with gasoline right now, by the way. So now it'll be all nice and clean. We'll get that front retainer off and get the seal changed and then go to the next thing. If you look at the clutch, I mean, there is a little bit of residue on here and at the bottom. So, I mean, I guess it could have played a factor in that. We will be changing the flywheel as well and checking out the rear main seal because, I mean, since it is off, there's no reason to not go ahead and do this. Customers already giving me the okay to go ahead and change whatever we needed to change. So let's get that off, get the ACT all bolted in, check the rear main seal, and get this transmission back in the car. All right, guys, so we just removed the front bearing retainer. The front input shaft seal was hard as a rock, so we went ahead and got a replacement. And we're gonna go ahead and reseal the front of this because it was nasty and leaking. We already installed the ACT clutch on there. So let's get this thing back in because it's taking too long. All right, guys, so we are on our way to Apexi, USA again. Is300 is right behind me. We are just cruising over there. Gotta meet Danny about 9:30. It's about 9:20 right now. So yeah, hope today goes well. You know, I guess second time's the charm. Hopefully not third time's the charm with this thing. Typically, always what happens with cars that we don't build from start to finish, and we pick up someone else's project and have to finish the car. So let's just cross our fingers today, hope for the best, and let's get it. All right, guys, so we made it back here safely. We're back at Apexi, USA. Car's on the dyno right now. So we're gonna do a few pulls, just making sure the clutch doesn't slip on 91 octane. And then we're gonna go ahead and get over to E85. Hopefully we can hit the customer's goal. He's looking for about 400 horsepower. So second time's the charm, guys. What are you doing right now, Caden?
And go-go juice.
Go-go juice?
Boost juice.
Boost juice? Got low boost fluid?
No, boost juice.
Boost juice. So we just finished 91 octane. We're on E85. The Go Juice is in, and we made about 312 or 317 horsepower on 91. So with the E85 crossover, we should be looking at about 60 horsepower gain. So we're hoping to see first pull right here somewhere around, let's just say 380 wheel. And the boost is real low. We're only at about 8 PSI right now. So we'll probably bring it up to somewhere around 12. So the end goal today is to get somewhere around 400-ish. I mean, if we get to 420, we'd only ask for 405 horsepower, 400 horsepower, and we do like to overachieve. So, I don't know, let's see what she does. Yeah, we're over here looking for some real horsepower. Real horsepower. 800 horsepower. 800 horsepower, 8-pound boost. Yep, yep. All right, guys, so IS300 is done. It's about 7 o'clock, sun's going down, nice little sunset going on, and car's right here. Danny just got to the shop, so we're gonna be getting all the anti-lag and two-step stuff set up right now. All right, guys, so this is gonna go ahead and conclude our video. So going over a few things with this setup. Haltech doesn't really have the kind of two-step that everybody else, really likes, like how all of our cars are. AEM has the best one from what I've seen. The Link ECU hasn't done it. I haven't seen really anything from any other computer except for AEM. So if you want a really, really good two-step, I do recommend going Infinity or V2 or something in the AEM department of standalone for EMS. Overall, 313 horsepower on pump gas at 8 PSI is actually very good, considering that the stock engine makes about 180 horsepower. So to gain over 100 horsepower for just bolting a turbo kit on and putting a standalone on your car, guys, like, that's pretty good, actually. Like, yes, all of our cars that we build do generally do 5, 6, 7, 800 horsepower. Like, yeah, I get it, but like, you have to understand the amount of money and time and everything that goes into building the builds that we do over here with all our dyno sheets on the wall. Like, it's not buying a $2,000 turbo kit on eBay and a set of good injectors from Real Street and just saying, fuck it, let's send it. Like, that's not how it works. There's a lot more that goes into it to get you to where, you can make that kind of power and everything too. And on the stock GE bottom end, once again, you can't over rev it, you can't over boost it, you can't over torque it, or you're just going to end up blowing it up and throwing a rod, like in the other video you saw on Isaiah's first engine. Overall on E85, here's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about before we end the video, and that's going to pretty much conclude everything, is fuel pressure drop was the only reason why we did not get to above 370 horsepower. We hit 370 horsepower, guys, on E85 with really conservative, obviously we added timing, but not like to the point where we're going to blow the engine up. That was like really, really good timing numbers where we liked it, really, really good AFR numbers where we liked it. And, we hit 370 at 8 PSI. That was no change in, boost pressure or anything. And the reason why the boost did not get put up in the first place was, once again, fuel pressure drop. Now, let's talk about this very briefly because I don't want this video to be ridiculously long. We can get into this later. So at 8 PSI, the pump starts to drop fuel pressure and the injector is having to compensate for the pump dropping. Luckily, there's enough percentage of duty that in the injector to be able to compensate for that because the boost is so low. So we set it where it could do the best that it possibly could. And without boosting the pump, which everybody apparently doesn't know anything about, which we'll go over in another video. But basically, if the aftermarket pump that you're running doesn't have the proper voltage, you're never going to get to the desired fuel pressure when the car is hitting load. So this will be another video that we'll go over later. But for now, just know that the only reason this car didn't make above 400 like a lot of the other TJZ GEs that we did was because we didn't build the car from scratch. We took someone else's project, we took someone else's setup and finished their car since it was blown up and made it better. So for all of you guys that want more info about anything in the future about, building or questions, post it in the comments, and I'll make a video for you guys about whatever you guys want to learn about, or whatever you like have questions about, or message me through Instagram. And until next time,